How many depressed and anxiety-ridden people do you know? And out of those people, how many actually go out and appreciate nature? It's common to hear that those with depression and/or anxiety completely deprive themselves of social interaction and very rarely leave their house. However, this actually is worsening their condition. Did you know that up to 60% of people with depression engage in little to no outdoor activity? This is a very concerning statistic and really shows how depression can affect someone. The effects of depression don't go unnoticed, and many people explain it away with oversleeping or playing video games too much. It's a very common symptom. But what if there was a remedy that could suppress these feelings of isolation and depression? One ultimate free medicine. I'm Sydney Jones, and with that very, very long introduction, I just also want to promote, I don't sell this, I got it for my birthday. If I was a bird, I'd know who I'd poop on. We always hear keep fit influencers pushing the narrative, and it's certainly not untold of by therapists. Go outside for a run or a walk. Go outside and appreciate nature. It gets boring after a time, and I completely understand that, but there is a lot of truth to what they're saying. Something that I certainly ignored when I was younger. Research has shown that those who take time to go out and appreciate nature are actually overall happier in life. Research done by Mental Health Foundation showed that 45% of UK citizens went out and appreciated nature to cope with COVID-19, to cope with the pandemic. Not all of the UK was asked either, so this number could be a lot higher or a lot lower, but I'd like to think it was a lot higher. The COVID pandemic, which depending on where you really lived in the world, it lasted for a couple of years. I think here the lockdowns lasted 2 years. It stripped us from everything we knew, from how many people we could gather with to social interactions altogether, and many refused to see their families, completely isolated themselves. Many of us are left with prolonged mental health issues and nowhere to turn, and it's all present in our day-to-day lives. In the study I mentioned by Mental Health Foundation, many of those asked said that appreciating, visiting and noticing nature were the most important aspects of their outing and improved their overall well-being, both physically and mentally. Harvard Medical School also did a study in 2019 where 36 people were asked to spend 10 minutes or longer interacting with nature, and the study lasted for 8 weeks. And the impacts were outstanding. The levels of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, were measured before and after the study using saliva samples. And it was found that those who spent 20 to 30 minutes in nature had the biggest drop of cortisol. So why does nature have this effect on our brains? Well, one of the reasons is the lack of devices and social media. It gives our brains a chance to rest and relax and recharge. The 3 R's. Mobile devices have an ever-growing impact on our mental and physical well-being. Sleep disturbances, eye strain, poor posture, reduced physical activity, cognitive decline, addiction and depression are just a few. Mental health worsens when social media is brought into it too. The societal pressures that are pushed into even kids nowadays, and the trolls that lurk everywhere. The effects that mobile devices give us, even just looking at screen, affects our self-esteem and our outlook on life as a whole, and really negatively affects us, and a lot of people I think are in denial of this. You don't see birds telling someone that their nose is too big, do you? When you take devices away and start appreciating what's actually around you, your outlook on life changes and you start appreciating everything way more. Being outside in nature calms the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that is responsible for negative thoughts, and this part of the brain goes into overdrive in people with mental health issues. Some doctors are even handing out green prescriptions, which is written advice to be active outdoors and improve your diet. These were founded in the 90s in New Zealand. They last for 3 months and they are widespread all across the world really, from Canada to the UK as well. And 71% of people who have been given these prescriptions have noticed changes positively long-term in their mental health. Spending 1 day in nature isn't going to fix your mental health. I think thinking that is just ludicrous. I'll just go out for a little walk and I'll be totally fixed and cured. That's not how it works. Think of it like building muscle at the gym. It has to be continuous and regular, and slowly but surely, hopefully, your mental resilience will build and you will find that managing anxiety, stress, negative thoughts, it'll just be a lot easier. A 10-minute walk in nature, or just looking through your window and noticing the different types of trees, flowers, different birds, what bird sounds you can hear. We all start somewhere. The key is consistency. Try to incorporate nature into your daily life, and over time, you'll notice a change in not just your mood, but even your blood pressure. The benefits never end. The power of nature is misunderstood and often underappreciated. It's one of the most accessible tools that we all have in our day-to-day lives, but no one really notices. So the next time you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or just a little bit stressed, take a little stroll to your local shop or go and sit in a park and just to look around you. When I get stressed, I take my camera and go down my local field to take photos of birds and to identify the different types of birds that I hear, and I always learn something new. I either see a new bird that I haven't really seen and I try and educate myself on it as much as possible and learn their behaviour, or I learn that a bird call is actually this bird and not that bird. I learn so much on my outings, and that's just in 1 to 2 hours. When I get stressed for a long period of time, which usually happens when I haven't been birding, I will take an entire day out to my local reserve. Or I think it was a couple of months ago, I can't remember which month, I took a trip to Rutland Water, which is around 2 hours from where I am. And it was absolutely amazing. I photographed ospreys, I got my first gold crest, I got really nice ones of grebes and egret, different types of egrets as well. It just relaxes me and I feel way more motivated afterwards. Take that first step today. The only thing stopping you is you.